He's built a brand synonymous with luxury, power, and let's be honest, a healthy dose of controversy. Donald Trump, the real estate mogul turned reality TV star turned politician, has never been one to shy away from flaunting his wealth. From towering skyscrapers to a private jet that would make a Saudi prince blush, Trump's assets scream opulence. Now I know what you're thinking, why not get Morgan Freeman to narrate this? His voice is like a warm bath for the soul, and you'd be right, it is, but let's be honest, this level of over-the-top extravagance needs a certain comedic touch. That's where I, your humble narrator, capital lore with a gavel, come in. So buckle up, Buttercup, as we take a deep dive into the gold-plated world of Donald Trump's most outrageously expensive assets. Let's just say you might want to put on your sunglasses. Things are about to get shiny. Ah, Trump Tower. Instantly recognizable, unapologetically bold, and impossible to ignore. It's not just a building, it's a statement, a landmark, and for some, a symbol of a certain kind of American dream. A gleaming monument to capitalism, towering over Fifth Avenue like a giant mirrored middle finger to, well, probably someone. Its glass facade reflects the city's hustle, but inside, it's a whole different world. One that's less about subtlety and more about spectacle. But let's talk about the penthouse, shall we? This isn't just an apartment, it's a testament to the philosophy of more is more. If you've ever wondered what happens when you give a billionaire a blank check and a love for all things shiny, this is your answer. Imagine walking into the lobby of the Palace of Versailles, except Louis XIV decided to ditch the Rococo and go full-on Liberace. Every inch is designed to dazzle, overwhelm, and maybe even blind you with opulence. We're talking marble floors so shiny, you could practically see your reflection if, you were a billionaire with a penchant for self-admiration. The kind of floors that make you want to tiptoe just in case you leave a smudge on perfection. The walls, covered in gold leaf, because why settle for regular paint when you can have your living room resemble the inside of a Ferrero Rocher? It's not just a color scheme, it's a lifestyle choice, one that says, I want my home to look like a treasure chest exploded. And the furniture? Think Louis XIV, but if Louis XIV had a fire sale and replaced everything with plush velvet and enough gold trim to make King Midas say, dude, tone it down. Every chair, every table, every lamp is a conversation piece, assuming you can get past the glare. Now, I'm not saying that living in a giant golden box is wrong, per se, it's just, well, it's a bit on the nose, isn't it? It's the kind of place where subtlety goes to die, replaced by a relentless pursuit of the spectacular, like, hey everyone, look at me, I'm rich. It's the kind of place where you'd expect to find a solid gold toilet, and you know what? You wouldn't be disappointed. Even the bathrooms are a masterclass in excess, gold fixtures, marble everywhere, and a sense that you should probably be wearing a tuxedo just to brush your teeth. Even the elevators are decked out in gold, with buttons that look like they belong in a jewelry store. Every ride up feels like you're ascending to Mount Olympus, or at least to a very exclusive, very shiny version of it. But hey, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just not cut out for the high life. I mean, I'd probably spill coffee on the silk rugs or get lost trying to find the remote control in a sea of gilded cushions. I mean, I'm perfectly happy with my modest two-bedroom apartment and my collection of vintage Pez dispensers. There's a certain charm in simplicity, in knowing that your biggest worry is running out of shelf space, not whether your gold-plated swan faucet is polished enough. But then again, I'm not a billionaire with a penchant for, well, you get the idea. For some, more really is more. And if you're going to live in a palace in the sky, why not make it shine brighter than Fort Knox itself? Forget Air Force One, folks. This is Trump Force One, and it's about as subtle as a monster truck rally in a library. This isn't just a plane, it's a 30-ton, $100 million flying billboard screaming, I'm Donald Trump, and I arrived here in style, baby. Let's start with the exterior. This Boeing 757, once a humble passenger jet, has been Trumpified to within an inch of its life. The giant emblazoned Trump on the side isn't for navigational purposes, it's a friendly reminder to the clouds who's the boss. Inside it's pure Trumpian excess. We're talking plush leather seats, gold-plated seatbelt buckles because of course, and enough mahogany to make a rainforest weep. Rumor has it there's a cinema with a screen bigger than my first apartment and a master bedroom fit for, well, a very important person who enjoys sleeping in a bed that probably costs more than your car. And the piece de resistance, the Trump family crest, prominently displayed throughout the cabin because, you can never be too reminded of whose private jet you're on. It's like a flying version of that golden penthouse but with more leg room and the ability to travel at 500 miles per hour. Picture this. Palm Beach, Florida. The sun is shining, the ocean is sparkling, and nestled amongst the palm trees is a 20-acre estate that looks like a Mediterranean palace, and a Spanish hacienda had a love child. This is Mar-a-Lago, Trump's winter White House, and it's as opulent as it is steeped in controversy. Built in the 1920s by serial heiress Marjorie Merriweather Post, Mar-a-Lago was already a monument to extravagant living. But when Trump got his hands on it in the 80s, well, he took things to a whole new level. We're talking gold-leafed everything, crystal chandeliers the size of small cars, and enough marble to make Michelangelo jealous. But Mar-a-Lago isn't just a pretty face. It's become a social and political hub, hosting everyone from foreign dignitaries to, well, anyone willing to pay the hefty membership fee. Of course, this has led to its fair share of controversies, from security concerns to allegations of using the presidency for personal profit. But hey, who needs ethics when you have a private beach, a world-class spa, and a golf course designed by, you guessed it, Donald Trump himself? Mar-a-Lago is a testament to the Trumpian philosophy that bigger is always better, and that rules are for other people. If there's one thing Donald Trump loves more than himself, it's golf. The man has made a career out of swinging for the fences, on the course and in business. For Trump, golf isn't just a pastime, it's a statement, a lifestyle, and of course, a golden opportunity to show off. And if there's one thing he loves more than golf, it's slapping his name on a golf course and calling it luxury. The Trump brand is practically synonymous with over-the-top opulence, and nowhere is that more obvious than at his golf resorts. If it can be gilded, monogrammed, or made bigger, you can bet it's got Trump's stamp on it. From Scotland to Dubai, Trump's golf courses are as ubiquitous as his hotels, and just as divisive. These sprawling properties have popped up across the globe, each one promising a taste of the Trump lifestyle, whether you want it or not. For some, they're a symbol of luxury. For others, they're a lightning rod for controversy. These aren't your average municipal courses, folks. Forget about the local 9-hole with a snack shack and a rusty ball washer. Trump's courses are designed to dazzle, to impress, and to make you feel like you've stepped into a billionaire's playground. We're talking sprawling greens, manicured fairways, and enough water hazards to make a duck blush. Every blade of grass is perfectly trimmed, every bunker raked to perfection, and the landscaping is so lush you'd think it was painted on. Each course is designed to be a monument to Trump's vision of success, even if that vision sometimes clashes with, environmental regulations and local communities. Building these courses often means moving mountains, sometimes literally, and not everyone is thrilled about it. In fact, some of Trump's golf projects have sparked fierce opposition from environmentalists and locals alike, who argue that the pursuit of luxury shouldn't come at the expense of nature or neighborhoods. But for Trump, controversy is just par for the course. There's the Trump International Golf Links in Scotland, built on a site of special scientific interest, because who needs nature when you can have a putting green? The project bulldozed its way through protected dunes, igniting debates that still rage today. There's the Trump National Doral in Miami, which he bought out of bankruptcy and promptly covered in, you guessed it, gold. The resort is a monument to excess, with every detail screaming success, or at least Trump's version of it. And let's not forget the Trump World Golf Dubai, because when you think of a desert oasis, you naturally think of Donald Trump. Only he could imagine a lush green golf paradise rising out of the sand, complete with all the extravagance you'd expect. Love them or hate them, there's no denying that Trump's golf courses are a testament to his ambition, and some might say, his complete lack of self-awareness. They're playgrounds for the rich, showcases for the Trump brand, and, for better or worse, a lasting part of his legacy. They're a world unto themselves where the grass is always greener and more expensive, the drinks are always flowing, and the only thing bigger than the bunkers is Trump's ego. Whether you're a fan of the man or not, you can't help but marvel at the spectacle, and maybe wonder what the next hole-in-one will cost. So here's the million-dollar question, or should I say, the several billion-dollar question: what's next for Trump's lavish empire? After years of dominating headlines, building skyscrapers that scrape the clouds, and branding everything from steaks to universities, the Trump name is practically synonymous with excess. But as the world turns and the news cycle spins ever faster, even the most glittering empires can find themselves on shaky ground. Will it continue to thrive, or will it crumble under the weight of legal battles, political scandals, and the ever-changing tides of public opinion? The Trump Organization has weathered storms before, but this time the clouds seem darker and the thunder louder. With every new headline, the stakes get higher and the world watches with bated breath. Look, I'm no fortune teller, I'm just a cartoon baby with a microphone and a penchant for sarcasm. But even I can sense when the winds are shifting, and right now, it feels like we're all waiting for the next plot twist in this never-ending reality show. But even I can see that the future of Trump's assets is about as certain as a game of roulette. You can stack the odds, hedge your bets, and hope for a lucky spin, but in the end the ball lands where it wants. And sometimes the house wins. On one hand, you have the unwavering support of his base, who see him as a symbol of success and a middle finger to the establishment. For them, every lawsuit is just another witch hunt, every scandal a badge of honor. They buy the hats, wave the flags, and fill the rallies with chants that echo through the halls of power. On the other hand, you have the mounting legal challenges, the potential for further political fallout, and the fact that, well, even gold-plated toilets eventually need to be cleaned. The legal bills are stacking up, the investigations are multiplying, and the pressure is on. No amount of polish can hide the cracks forever. Will Trump Tower become a monument to a bygone era, like a giant mirrored disco ball from the 80s? Once the hottest ticket in town, now just a relic collecting dust, a reminder of when the party never seemed to end. Or will it reinvent itself, finding new life in a world that's moved on? Will Mar-a-Lago be turned into a museum dedicated to the rise and fall of the Trump dynasty? Imagine tourists snapping selfies in the gilded halls, reading plaques about the art of the deal, and marveling at the sheer audacity of it all. History has a way of turning today's headlines into tomorrow's exhibits. Will his golf courses become overgrown symbols of a time when money could buy you anything, except maybe good taste? Only time will tell. Maybe one day, those manicured greens will be wild meadows, and the clubhouses will echo with stories of deals made and lost. But one thing's for sure, the world will be watching, popcorn in hand, as the Trump show continues to unfold. Whether it's a courtroom drama, a political comeback, or a business empire in freefall, you can bet it'll be must-see TV. Because let's face it, whether you love him or hate him, you can't take your eyes off him. He's the headline you can't scroll past, the story you can't help but follow, the character who refuses to exit stage left. He's like a car crash in slow motion, but with better hair, and a lot more gold. And as the saga continues, one thing is certain. Karma may not send an invoice, but it always collects its debts, sometimes with interest and always with a flair for the dramatic. So there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the opulent, extravagant, and often truly baffling world of Donald Trump's most prized and talked about assets. From a gold-drenched penthouse overlooking Central Park to a private jet that would make even Elton John jealous, the spectacle is undeniable. Trump's empire is a testament to the power of branding, relentless ambition, and a whole lot of cold, hard cash. Whether you see it as genius marketing or just plain gaudy excess, the debate rages on. There's no denying that Trump's properties are a reflection of the man himself. Bold, brash, and absolutely impossible to ignore. And as the media circus continues to swirl around him, one thing's for sure, the Trump show is far from over, and the spotlight isn't fading. What do you think is the most outrageous Trump asset of them all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, if you ever find yourself at Mar-a-Lago, tell them Capital Lore sent you for a laugh. They'll know exactly what it means.